You know the kind of day I'm talking about. Not the dramatic kind, not the kind with a reason you can point to. Just the quiet worst kind, where you end up on the floor. Not the couch, the floor, because the couch felt like a decision. Back against the cushions, not really doing anything. Not okay, just there. And your dog doesn't try to fix it, doesn't do zoomies, doesn't bring 17 toys, doesn't perform. They just walk over, slowly, and sit right beside you, close enough that you can feel the heat of them against your arm. And then they breathe, the slow, steady rhythm, and somehow, without trying, yours starts to match it. The Frito paw smell is just there, the way it always is, not caring whether the day is good or not. I kept asking myself why they stay. The answer turned out to be bigger than I expected. There are two stories we tell ourselves about why dogs stay. The first one is cynical, dependency. They need food, shelter, routine. You hold the bowl. Leaving isn't really an option. The relationship is transactional, dressed up in fur and tail wags. The second story is simpler and more comfortable. They stay because they love you. Full stop. Both of those answers feel true in different moments. And both of them, in different ways, are selling the actual thing short. Because here's what breaks the dependency argument first. Dogs who can leave don't. Dogs with open doors, unfenced yards, opportunities to follow a more interesting smell down the street, they come back, they choose return. That's not captivity. Something else is happening. And the pure love framing, while it's not wrong exactly, skips the biological machinery underneath it, the part that makes a dog's loyalty structurally different from almost any other relationship in a human life. Actually, the more precise term researchers use isn't love, it's something called selective attachment fidelity. And the distinction, once you understand it, changes how you see every single ordinary moment with your dog. Here's what the science actually shows. Research from Tapal and colleagues on canine attachment found that dogs don't bond to whoever feeds them. They don't attach to a species, or a household, or a resource. They attach to whoever provides consistent emotional presence. Person-specific, selective, almost stubbornly so. Studies looking at dogs in multi-person households found measurable preference hierarchies, and the person at the top wasn't necessarily the one who handled the food bowl or did the most walks. It was the one who showed up emotionally most consistently, the one whose mood the dog tracked, the one whose absence registered differently than anyone else's. This specific finding made me rethink everything I assumed dogs were actually paying attention to. It turns out it was never really the tasks, it was always the presence underneath them. So reframe staying for a second, not as passivity, not as dependency, as an active, renewable choice, made continuously, day after day, in small, unremarkable moments, every time your dog abandoned a full sploot mid-nap because you moved to a different room in proximity to you mattered more than staying comfortable. Every time the front door was open and they stayed on the mat anyway. The tippy taps that redirect toward you instead of toward whatever just moved outside the window, that's not captivity, that's orientation. They are continuously biologically oriented toward you as their center point. Not because they have to be, but because that's what the attachment actually is. And the neuroscience behind it is genuinely humbling. The research of Nagasawa and colleagues showed that the oxytocin feedback loop between bonded dogs and their humans mirrors the parent-infant bonding mechanism almost exactly, and crucially, it runs in both directions. Both nervous systems regulate, both oxytocin levels rise. It's not one-sided. There's also cortisol research showing that a bonded dog's stress response is measurably dampened by their specific person's presence. Not strangers, not other dogs, specifically you. The corn chip warmth of Frito paws pressed into your leg on the floor isn't incidental comfort. It's a neurochemical event your body and theirs have been rehearsing together, quietly, without either of you deciding to, for years. No other domesticated animal developed this. Wolves form pack bonds, but not human-directed attachment fidelity. Cats form associations. Horses build working relationships. Dogs evolved a specific neurological orientation toward individual humans that has no direct parallel anywhere else in the animal kingdom. Your dog didn't just end up loyal by accident. Loyalty toward a specific human was selected for generation by generation until it became structural, built in, Akitas famously bond to one person so completely that the rest of the household is essentially background characters in a film about someone else. Beagles love absolutely everyone, which sounds charming, until it's 6 a.m. and they're equally thrilled to see the mail carrier, but underneath both, same architecture, same pull toward their person. The most telling expressions of that loyalty aren't the homecoming zoomies. Those are real, but they're also loud. The quiet ones are the ones that stick. The dog who stays close during illness without being asked. The one who doesn't leave the room when you're crying. Even though human distress is genuinely chemically stressful for dogs, their cortisol rises in response to yours, and they stay anyway. That muffled, soft check-in sound some dogs make when the house goes too quiet and too heavy, like they're taking attendance. Pause. Let it sit for 2 full seconds. Don't fill it. The staying that costs them something is the staying that means the most. Research observing dogs in genuinely distressing environments, not training scenarios, actual stress situations, shows something consistent. Dogs don't calculate whether staying is strategically worthwhile. They don't assess risk. They orient toward their bonded person and attempt to remain close, even when doing so elevates their own stress. The loyalty isn't conditional on you being okay, or safe, or easy to be around. It runs underneath the conditions. Prior to them, there is a relationship in your life with no exit strategy, no version of you it has decided is too much, no conditions you have to meet before it kicks in. That's not a small thing. That might actually be a rare thing. Not to manufacture sentiment, but the presence waiting for you on the other side of your worst days deserves to be received consciously. The food bowl matters, the walk matters. The emotional presence you actually bring to the relationship, that's what the attachment is built on. That's what it's tracking. I kept asking myself why they stay. The answer is bigger than I expected. They don't stay because they have no choice. They don't stay because you're consistent or easy or always your best self. They stay because 15,000 years of evolution built a nervous system with one specific orientation toward the human in front of them. You, specifically, the floor moment, the rhythmic breathing that paces yours without trying to. The Frito paw smell that shows up on good days and terrible ones without distinction, without conditions, without asking anything about which kind of day it is first. That's not dependency dressed up as love. That's love that predates the word for it. Running quietly underneath every condition you've ever placed on being lovable. Just staying. Still there. Every single time. Here's what I want from you in the comments. Not the exciting reunion stories, though those are great. I want the quiet ones, the floor moment, the 2 a.m. moment, the moment your dog stayed when they didn't have to, and somehow, that was everything. Drop it below. Those stories are the whole reason comment sections exist. If this one meant something to you, send it to someone whose dog has done that for them. They'll know exactly what you mean. Next video, we're going somewhere I didn't expect this research to take me. What your dog actually understands about your emotional state and how precise that understanding really is. It's not what most people think. See you there.